We're going to go over the Hydrapak Seeker 3-liter water storage bag.
But in order to know why you would choose a water storage bag, let's briefly talk about how we filter our water. We're currently using the BeFree filter with the 0.6 liter bags I use as trail running, but this bag is way too small to filter in when you're trying to filter, say, like 2 or 3 of these. It takes forever because then you got to keep refilling this.
And especially if you're going for multiple days.
And not only multiple days, but having a big water storage when you're actually at camp makes life way easier.
Mm-hmm. And if you are going to a place that actually there is no way to get extra water, this is another way to carry it with you. Let's go over the features of this bag and why we like it.
So this bag is made of thermoplastic polyurethane, which it's some kind of plastic, but the big thing is that there's no BPAs and it's PVC free. So that's good.
This bag actually has welded seams.
Yeah, so if you look here, you can see the seams. They're nice and clean. Don't have any problems with them when you're really squeezing the water to get the water through the filter. Everything seems fine. We haven't had any leaks or any problems with it. Hydrapak advertises this as an ultralight bag. They actually say it's 3.2 ounces. We measured it at 3.4 ounces or 95 grams.
96 grams.
96 grams, pretty close. It feels on the heavier side compared to some of the other bags out there, like the Seenock bag. It just feels light. This one actually feels a little heavier, which it is, but it's also extremely durable, and yes. I think that's like the key point.
Very durable, yes. Hydrapak actually has a lifetime warranty. It's called the Beyond Lifetime Warranty. So if you experience any failures due to products manufacturing or materials, they'll repair or replace the item for free. Whatever it takes for you to keep the adventure going, they say.
Okay, so that being said, we haven't had to deal with that warranty, and we've had to deal with some warranties on some other companies, and going through the warranty process says a lot about a company. So if you have had to deal with Hydrapak, let us know down in the comments, because we'd actually be really interested in hearing about that. So this one is why we picked this one, is it comes with a 42 millimeter threaded screw hole up here. And why that's important is if you're using a BeFree filter, this is 42 millimeters.
It fits perfectly into the bag.
Yes, it does. So if you take it off of here, and it goes, and it screws perfectly onto there. Not only that, but it makes a really nice tight fit, so those threads work perfectly. The size of the opening also matters in getting water in and how easy that process is. The Seenock or Seenock, however you pronounce it, on this one, these are really nice because they have this giant opening, and then you can scoop it in really low water. It doesn't have to be really deep for you to be able to get some water in there. That's actually really nice. I was a little worried that I was going to have problems getting water into this because if you've used just like a regular 28 millimeter, it takes forever to get water in there, and it's kind of a pain. I was worried that this wasn't going to be big enough, but turns out it's plenty big.
Yes.
And it's placed low on the corner of the bag.
So you just hold it
So
back.
when you're holding it in there like over some running water, it actually doesn't take long to fill it all. On a recent trip where there was not a whole lot of good clean water, we actually bulked up and did a huge water carry. I carried this 3 liters plus 2 other liters.
And then I carried this one.
The difference between this bag and this bag is the way it seals.
Right. So the difference is that this bag, you actually just fold it over and then slide this on. Unfortunately, it actually leaked in my bag.
Yeah, and we don't know if that was user error or the bag had some kind of flaw in it, but it creates such a bigger place for that it has to seal. We also had these things really plumb full.
Yeah.
It creates a big area for potential leakage. And then when you're dealing with this kind that has screws on, yeah. I mean, this thing it's solid. There is no chance of it actually leaking whatsoever.
Unless you don't screw it on tight enough.
Another thing we noticed between the Seenock bag and this bag is this screw top, for whatever reason, I don't know what kind of plastic this is, but it's a little bit squishy. And it seems to seal fine, but it's just a little bit squishy and almost seems, I don't know, not as strong. This plastic they chose on this cap, it's a nice, really hard plastic. And so when you screw it on, you know it's not going to deform. One downfall to is having a small entry point here is there's no easy way to stick your hand in there to clean it. It is big enough to stick like a bottle brush in there, but it's still going to be a little wonky, and it's big enough to get your finger in there. But like these,
you can put your whole hand
you
in
can
it.
actually stick your hand in there to clean them out. And some of them you can turn inside out and actually clean them out that way.
Where this is even harder to clean
This is
out.
impossible to clean.
Yeah.
So deal with that. So I would give this kind of a low score on being able to clean it, although what we do is we put a little soapy water in there, soap, and then give it a really, really good shake.
And then rinse it super duper good. A nice thing about this cap as well is that it's actually tethered onto the bag, and it's pretty long strap.
Yeah. They also advertise this as being a material that doesn't rip, and I don't know what it's made of, but it definitely is not going to rip. The only downfall of having this tether on there is when you're filtering water, it likes to kind of dangle and totally get in the way sometimes. Just have to deal with it.
But you can actually take this off.
Yeah.
It does remove, so.
If you needed to.
Yeah. Of course, we don't want to accidentally lose it, so we never untake it on.
If you look on the side of the bag, you can see that it's got 2 attachment points and then this large tether thing. And this is made of that same material that is held on with the cap. And this actually creates a pretty nice handle. So when you're filling up and if you're walking back to camp, it actually gives you a place to hold. You can also use this to, this is where I looped on the back of my pack to hold it on. They also include these 2 little cutouts here, so if you had other straps, if your backpack has other straps or you want to hook it on something else, you could hang it on there. You can also take one of these attachment points and then use that as your gravity fill if you wanted to then just hang it up at camp and let it drain into your clean water container. That works pretty good.
Another thing about this bag, it has milliliter markings along the side. So if you're wanting to track your water consumption, you're able to do that. The material is a little bit darker, so you may have to hold it up to look through the light to see exactly where it's at. This bag can actually hold up to 140-degree temperature water, or you can actually freeze it as well.
One note about freezing temperatures. It's okay if this were to freeze if you were at camp or something, but it's not okay if your filter freezes. These have hollow fibers in them, and if those freeze, they will break. And if those break, all the bad stuff's going to make it through. You could potentially get sick. So if you're in freezing temperatures, put this in a baggie and throw that in either your jacket or inside your sleeping bag with you.
And on the side, it actually tells you can do 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty hot.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would put hot water in one of these, but
But if you had you were snow camping and you wanted a hot, warm thing, you could put some hot water in there and then maybe rinse your body. That would be pretty nice, actually. So how big do you need?
And that question comes in as how much water you're going to carry, how much water you have on the trail or wherever you're going. So this is 2 liters. This is 3 liters. They make a 4 liter and a 6 liter. I can't fathom anyone carrying a 4 liter or 6 liter on you. They would be really good if you were at a base camp and you needed a lot of water for a lot of people. That would be fantastic for that. We've found that this actually works pretty well for 2 or 3 people. Mm-hmm. We would fill it up right when we got to camp, and then we would have enough water to cook with. Mm-hmm. And then usually we'd have a little bit of water left over to filter for bottles in the morning.
Yeah. We've used this bag all summer long, and at this point we would highly recommend it.
Yeah, it has just enough extra features to makes just like an extra ounce worth it. This little tether, this nice handle that's being super durable. If you're looking for a 3 liter bag or even bigger or smaller sizes, check out the Hydrapak Seeker.
You can find out more about us at exploretrekadventure.com. Go watch this video next, and we'll see you next time.